More life and the fullness thereof. Yeah, you know.
Yeah, you know.
True.
Respect.
Respect.
Shouting, shouting. Why I?
Boy, 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 boy. Daddy, I know that you tried your best.
And Daddy, I know that you're late to rest. Daddy, I know.
Boy, 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 boy.
Daddy, I know that you're imperfect, but just if we show you some forgiveness. Daddy, I know. Hey, Andrea, Kobe.
Boy, 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 boy.
All right.
Because he walk out
a true tragedy.
Maybe because I'm on me and him put the money did again, so him start the parking.
Yeah.
No phone number situation would have certain anyone. Now the little one him have to grow up.
We get ready to come back, y'all. What's up, Jeremiah? What's going on, Brian? This is St. Matthew. The song is called Daddy. Wow. Father. What's up, Father? Hey, Tonette, Renata. Daddy, I know that you took your best. And Daddy, I know that you're late to rest. Daddy, I know. Boy, 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 boy. Daddy, I know that you're imperfect, but just if we show you some forgiveness. Daddy, I know you imperfect, but the Lord gonna show you something. He's gonna show you some justice. He's gonna give you peace. Hey, baby. With my baby Jamila coming up line. Again, this is St. Matthew. The song is called Daddy. Darnell, how you doing, brother? Donald, what's going on, brother?
Papa say you are go struggle, slip when the road wet. Don't say that the journey where you dip and can be lonely. Realize when you are go, Papa, Father, God,
lifting up the fathers, daddies. I want to talk with you. Click and tag. Tag some of the brothers in there, some of these daddies. Brian, what's going on? Daddy, I know that you tried your best. And Daddy, I know that you're late to rest. Daddy, I know. Boy, 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 boy. Daddy, I know that you're imperfect. And just if we show you some forgiveness. Daddy, I know. Hey, Nikita. Rufus, what's going on? So listen, I've been thinking about this for a minute again. That was St. Matthew. St. Matthew is a reggae artist, Christian reggae artist, real strong. I mean, he doing it. And I wanted to talk with you about the subject that you'll always be daddy. So for some of you ladies that have baby fathers, they may not be in the fathers, may not be in your life, you might not have a relationship with them, but you know, this is Pastor Fred, God's man on deck. I want to talk with you. I want to talk with you a minute, but I put their names in there. This is so important. Put those baby fathers, those men, put their names in the text. I want them to come up. Put them in your caption. Put them in your comments. I want them to come up. I want to speak into the life of these fathers. I want to speak into these lives of these fathers. And I've been wanting to talk about this for a minute, that you'll always be daddies. And then some of you guys, some of you men, y'all click, tag, and share. Some of you guys, I've been trying to get at you. I've been trying to call some of y'all. I try to call, but sometimes I can't catch you. I've been trying to catch this young man called Cha-Ching. That's what he got on that's what he has on it. But I've been trying to catch him. The subject is important, and I love St. Matthew's song because the song is dedicated to his father, and there are so many songs that are dedicated to a mother, and there's nothing wrong with it. Boy, I love my mother. You know what I mean? I love my mother. So, you know, and I know a lot of you love your mother. What's going on, Corey? Hey, Tavia, how you doing? Stefanetta, how you doing? But there's not a lot for fathers, and it's because, and that's why I love St. Matthew's song so much, because there are men that are good fathers, but then there are some of us men that have been, you got caught up in the relationship more than the fatherhood. And so I wanted to talk to you. One of the things that I saw is that when people get, Bishop Fulton Parham, God bless you, sir. When people get into new relationships, with other, when women in particular that has the children home get into another relationship, and what I've seen is the relationship can be, they can be separated for years, but get into a new relationship. Somehow the enemy is always able to come in and into the man and make the man somehow stop taking responsibility for the children. And sometimes what I'm seeing is that they'll stop taking financial responsibility. They'll stop taking personal responsibility. They will separate themselves totally from the child, but it really has nothing to do with the child more than their feelings, whether those feelings are still love for who used to be their wife, or whether it was a divorce, or whether it never went there, or whatever that relationship, whether that was love, whether if not love, it's just hate, spitefulness, whatever it is. And what I want to speak to some of you men this morning, because I've seen the hurt that comes from that. And no matter what happens when that woman marries again, becomes in love again, or begins to build a life outside of what you guys used to have, you can't go and now just look the other way and stop forgetting about the man or the father you need to be in your child's life. Now, I already know when people see this, we're going to have a lot of men going to say that she won't let me see him. I heard it. And I want to say this the right way, because I wouldn't tell nobody to break the law. But I will say this. No one could stop me from seeing my children. So I would have to ask you the question, if I was talking to any man personally, and I'm gonna get on this. I would say, did you really try hard enough to see him? Yeah, I know about child support. We know about all of that. But what I'm talking about is the hurt of children. What I'm talking about is the hurt, and I'm not talking about babies. I'm talking about teenagers. I'm talking about when they get to adult, you are always daddy. You will never stop being daddy. And even if in the future God does, and you got your ex-wife or whomever, or however the title was, gets with somebody else, and they may be an excellent father, they may be an excellent man, it still doesn't fill the gap from the natural father. I need you to put some men's name inside those boxes. I want y'all to share this. I need you to share this, because there are some young ladies that are getting ready to go to strip clubs and getting ready. And listen, I'm not coming against anybody's occupation, but a lot of times young women get into things, and young men get into things such as drugs and those type of activities, because the natural father is not there. The natural father has forgotten his place. The natural father is not speaking into the son. The natural father is not speaking to a daughter. I cannot imagine another man trying to speak for me and my daughter's life. I can't imagine it. Now, what happens in that old relationship, or whoever she goes with, gets with, marries, whatever, that don't have anything to do with me. They may even be a good man, but they can never replace who I am as a father. And what I'm telling somebody this morning, which I need you to share this, brothers, that no man can take the place of the man that when the young lady looks in the mirror, she looks like her father. When the young man looks in the mirror, he looks like his daddy. Nobody can take the place of that. Nobody can take the place of that. Bro, you're going to always be daddy. You're going to always be daddy. And you got to do something about it. And if you seeing this, and when you see this, and if you seeing this and it's not doing nothing, something for you, that means that it's something you need to deal with in the inside of you. Because you might hate that woman so much that you trying to hurt her by not being there for your children. And you don't know you ain't hurting her. You are destroying your own children. Because they begin to deal with stuff that they shouldn't deal with. They begin to look at themselves. They begin to blame themselves. And then stuff start happening. Spirits start talking. And why? Because I'm not able to talk to my daddy, and my daddy act like he don't love me. Now, and so this is the real trip. When your children can go on Facebook, and your children can go on Instagram, and your children they can look at you and see what you're doing. And they see your life, but you ain't communicating with them. Bruh, come on, man. This ain't got nothing to do with no preacher or being no preacher. Man, I'm talking to daddies, because that thing hurt me, man. That thing hurt me when I saw what was going on in the heart of somebody close to me. When I seen some of what was going on in their heart, and I couldn't feel it. Stepdadders can't feel that. I don't care what you mad with her about, man. You need to get over that. I don't care what she did. You need to get over that. I don't care how it ended. You need to get over that. What's going on? What's going on, Dee? I don't care what happened. You need to get over that, because you have a responsibility. Not just responsibility. Imagine your daughters. Because let me tell you, you're going to have a challenge with my daughters, period. All 4 of them, you're going to have a challenge. A man going to have a challenge with my daughters. You know why he going to have a challenge? Because the daddy done showed them so much till they got to measure up before they got to measure up. See, no, my daddy, no, You got to measure up. Because the daddy has given them an example. And so some of y'all brothers, man, y'all got to get it. Some of y'all brothers that's been out that child life, and you've been saying, I'm a go, I'm a go, I'm a call, I'm a go, and years done passed by, man, and you still ain't did that yet, and you thinking because you see little pictures, and he got fresh tennis shoes on, he got a fresh outfit, you know, you can tell his belly full, you can tell her belly full, you can tell these things going on, and in your mind, you like, they all right, bro, they are not all right. Yes, I'm passionate about this message. They are not all right. They're not all right. They're not all right because they have not heard from you. Listen, I understand. Well, I ain't paid the child support, and I don't want to see her because I had to go to jail for the child. Man, look here, that ain't got nothing to do with that child. That child ain't get here by themselves. That ain't got nothing to do with them. You got something to do. You got something to do. When a man will try to come into a relationship with one of my daughters, all 4 of them, they got to talk. Then they got to present something. Because I have given them an example of how a man ought to, first of all, treat a lady, then how a man gonna step to my daughter. Because you got to come with something. And you ain't going to be able to come with you ain't going to be able to come with, stuff going on around your neck and all of that. Yeah, Nuki, you ain't heard the whole thing. I'm talking to daddies. You got to get in here. But you ain't going to be able to come with all that foolishness. No. You're going to have to a man going to have to come and present something. And it's going to have to remind her of the example that's been set before her because of how her daddy treats her. What's going on, Elder Caldwell? Your daddy, listen, fellas, man, get it together. Stop talking about, man, look, it's an excuse. Stop talking about what she did. Stop talking about how y'all broke up. Stop, man, come on, man. And it's a shame when guys, and I will say this, it's a shame when men, especially you men that are attending churches, Lord have mercy, good God Almighty, men that attend churches, that are in the word, that are in the Lord, and you still harboring hurt, and you still harboring stuff, and you still talking about you ain't gonna go see your child. You can't have nothing to do with it. A million excuses, and man, that ain't gonna do nothing for them. I don't want my children to grow up, and all of them adults now, but I still gotta be there because I'm gonna always be daddy. Because at the end of the day, they gotta be able to call me and say, Pop, I need to talk to you about this. I need your opinion on this. It's something, man, if your daughter can't call you, bruh, if your daughter can't call you, it's a problem. If your daughter can't call you, it's a problem. If your son can't call you, it's a problem. And if you don't think it's a problem, you got a problem. We got to do this thing, man. We got to do it. Y'all men that you have these children and you ain't with the mother no more, I'm sorry for y'all breakup. Get over it. But man, know who you are in these children's life, in these boys' life. It's a shame before God when you got a son and he look like you spit him out. Like he looked like your twin more than anybody in the world. It's a shame before God, man. We got to do something about that. It's time out for our community to be known as the one that can leave our children. The devil is a liar. The devil is a liar. It's time out for our community being that one. And some of y'all ladies gonna get mad because now some of y'all, you done closed the doors and you thinking it's all right. Well, he ain't helping. Let me tell you something. He may, I don't know what it is when it comes to he ain't helping or what he ain't doing, but the tragedy and the stuff that begins to happen in the child's heart. And if you hold him back because of you, shame on you. You wrong too. A stepdaddy can't do it. If I had a subtitle for this, as a stepdaddy can't do it, even a good one, even a great one. And I'm gonna tell you one thing: a good man gonna try his best, but it ain't nothing like what a natural father touches. Try his best. And a lot of us grew up. Now I grew up with a stepfather in the house. And you know what he became? He became, and I didn't know it. I really didn't know it until I started thinking about it later in life. He became one of the examples of men that I had. When Jamila began to ask me, we was talking one day, and she was like, well, where did it come from? How come you was never the one that kind of wanted to be, the player? Like even when I was in the world, the dudes, they listened to all the player music, all back in our time, everybody wanted to be Too Short. They wanted to be all this pimp player type stuff. And I just wasn't into it. My music was gangster stuff because that's what it was. And that's what it was, even though it's low thinking, it was low nature, what it was. But I never was in that type of, that never was my thinking. I was talking to my wife about that. She was like, well, why wasn't that why weren't you kind of drawn into all of that like that? Because I came up under a man that had one lady. He was a stepdaddy. My real daddy wasn't there, but I had a stepdaddy that was there. And you know what? Never heard one day about him cheating. Not one day. God bless the dead, George Brown. He ain't here. God bless the dead, George Brown. That was my stepfather. And he gone. And I gave, and let me tell y'all something. I gave that man hell as a young boy. I gave him hell. I got older and I disrespected him when I was older. I never forget. He spoke some of the words that was one of the reasons why I got into the Lord's door. But I apologized and I made up for it, and we were well had a great relationship before he left here. But it was bad. But I wish I'd have knew better. But that man, he was the example. Yeah, I need y'all to talk. You see a lot of people not giving hearts. You're not giving anything right now. You know why? Because, man, this might not be your segment of the message, but if it is, you need to put somebody's name in there, man. You need to put somebody's name in there. There's an example. And so, yeah, stepfathers can be effective, but they cannot be as effective as a natural father. Cannot be. A stepfather can never. We listen. A stepfather can try to fill the holes, but they're going to be things that a stepfather can do without doubt, and no bones about it. But then there's things that a father must be there for his child. A father. And so some of y'all, you need to get over who they done married. You need to get over who they're with. You need to get over all of that. That's the past, bro. You need to get over that. And now you need to go back and you need to make up. And some of you ladies, getting ready to go. Some of you ladies, you need to get back. And you need to go back to what it was and what it meant like, and what it looked like. And think about what's important. What's important? Your child. That's what's important. What's important is your child. What's important is the child. Daddies, men.
Daddy, I know that you tried your best, and Papa, I know that you let to rest. Daddy, I know. Daddy, I know that you've been perfect, but just if it show you some forgiveness. Daddy, I know.
St. Matthew. I need y'all men to stand up. The Father's watching. He's watching to see who will become real fathers. Who will put down their pride. Lift up the sons. Lift up the daughters. With their father. The father. Daddy, I know that you tried your best, and Papa, I know that you're laid to rest. Daddy, I know. Daddy, I know that you're imperfect, but just if you show you some forgiveness. Daddy, I know. Pastor Fred, God's man on deck. Share the message, man. Share the message. Even if you think it's gonna piss some of your brothers off, man, share it. You never know what relationships will be fixed off of one word. Let's stop putting off what we need to do. It's important. I love y'all.